this evening. Drunk driver kills man. However, persons claim he's killed twice before. Bartica to receive a new power plant. Police discover body of Bajan man accused of killing Guyanese wife. In the region, Canadian lynched in Peru after locals accuse him of murder. And internationally, Irish footballers start anti-abortion campaign.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Monday, April the 23rd, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Today, 3 government ministers were charged with misconduct in public office in connection with the alleged misuse of public funds and donations for the construction of Durban Park in 2016. PPP parliamentarian Juan Edgel filed the private criminal charges based on evidence he claims to have in his possession. Minister of Finance Winston Jordan, Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson, and former Minister of Education Dr. Rupert Roopnarine are summoned to appear in court on April 30th, 2018. Edgel accused Jordan and Patterson of having, quote, willfully misconducted themselves in a way which amounted to an abuse of public trust without reasonable excuse or justification when they paid or authorized to be paid 906 million Guyana dollars, being public funds, to Homestretch Development Incorporated and to contractors engaged by Homestretch Development Incorporated and on the behalf of the Guyana government for works purportedly done to and at Durban Park, quote, without any form of procurement process as prescribed by law. In the joint charge, they were alleged to have committed the offense between December 14th, 2016 and March 31st, 2017. As then Education Minister, Dr. Roopnarine is accused of having willfully misconducted himself in a way which amounted to an abuse of public trust without reasonable excuse or justification by acting as a director of the Homestretch Development Incorporated when that company received from the Ministry of Finance 906 million Guyana dollars, being public funds, for works purportedly done to Durban Park without any form of procurement process as prescribed by law. He is alleged to have committed that offense between December 14th, 2016 and March 31st, 2017. And on the heels of these allegations, this morning, the Director of Public Prosecutions has dropped charges against Minister of Public Health, Valda Lawrence, and former Minister of Public Health, Dr. George Norton. The DPP's chambers explains that these charges concern a grave issue under the criminal law in relation to 2 serving ministers. In the interest of good governance in the state of Guyana, such allegations ought first to have been reported to the Guyana Police Force for an investigation to be launched and the advice of the DPP sought. Lawrence was charged in connection with her alleged instructions to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation to purchase more than 600 million Guyana dollars worth of drugs from Trinidadian company Ansa McCall without first going through the procurement process. Norton is charged with the rental of a building at Sussex Street in Allboys Town for 14 million Guyana dollars rent for use as a pharmaceutical bond outside of the public procurement process. Over the weekend, a drunk driver struck and killed a man on the West Bank. But in this report, Esther Sobers tells us that persons allege that this isn't the first time he's killed someone while driving under the influence.
Keith Redmond is the latest victim of the alarm statistics in road fatalities thus far. The father of 4 attached to a security guard service was riding his cycle home from work when he was struck and killed by an intoxicated driver. The incident occurred at about 5:15 a.m. Sunday morning. According to police reports, the car of the unnamed driver was proceeding south on Port Ryan Public Road at a fast rate of speed. However, the vehicle came to a halt in a yard, the yard of Bibi Nash. An elderly woman was bewildered at what occurred.
We did sleep in. 5:15, this thing happened. So when we see this thing, when this thing knock, we see the brightness through the window, the bedroom window, and I tell my grandchildren them, this is my granddaughter, this is my grandson-in-law, and we got a 2.5-year-old baby, and I tell them, say, girl, lightning, thunder, come I get to get up and take out the main switch and come out of the house, because the whole house a rock, we said the house will fall down with the vibration, so them pick up the baby and I come out Instead we go back for the door, we come up front at the window for the door because the whole house smoke up. We don't know if the concrete wall or break or if a fire from the electricity or what. But we get blackout, so we not see where we go in.
In addition to allegedly killing a man, the highly intoxicated driver damaged a home and a vendor stand. The aggravated homeowner wants answers.
I wanted to make back my place where the house post lean. If the car move from there, the whole house will come down. I can go and check it and see. Me want to repair my place. Me no want nothing. Me no want no conversation, nothing. Me want them repair the place and move them car. Hold on and repair my place and can't move the car from there.
The vendor, Unika Martin, is none too pleased with the incident either.
I need my stand to get because I'm a single parent and I have 3 children to look after. I don't work nowhere else but selling when the day come.
Present at the scene were the children of the deceased Redmond. They revisited the place for another glimpse of where their father met his demise.
My father was coming from work yesterday morning. The car driver knocked him down, pitched him till under the bridge. My father body break up, but in the comfy, he was already dead. And nobody come and tell us nothing as yet. We just come from the parlor. Dad and left 4 daughters, 7 grandchildren, my mother and his married, and other siblings.
According to the deceased man's eldest daughter, Rosanna Redmond, it's not the first time that the driver was involved in a fatal road accident. She alleges that her father makes a 3rd person that was killed by the driver.
My father's not the first person the car driver knocked down. My father's the 3rd person right in front there, yes. And he was still able to drive again. Yeah. But when the police come, the license that went in the car is his 2 brother license. He have no license. He have no license. And he was under the influence of alcohol.
Nonetheless, the driver is currently in police custody, assisting in investigation. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure has reopened the Good Hope Bridge, much to the pleasure of commuters on the east coast of Demerara. The bridge, which was under construction for almost 3 weeks, is expected to reduce traffic congestion on the East Coast Highway. Workers replaced the old steel bridge with a concrete one. According to project coordinator Jeffrey Vaughn, the Good Hope Bridge, along with the Annandale and Lusignan bridges, should have been rehabilitated since last year, but there were concerns over the impact such construction would have on traffic. The contract for the $23.5 million project was awarded to BK International. The Ministry of Social Protection and the Aurora Gold Mine team up to teach persons about occupational safety. Wendell Jeffrey was at the workshop and filed this report.
April is Occupational Health and Safety Month, and the Aurora Gold Fields brought in Chad Hymus to present on the topic of safety at their locations in the interior. However, CEO of Aurora, Tom Henderson, Personnel Manager Peter Benny, and the Ministry of Social Protection's consultant Gwen King thought that they would extend the experience to a cross-section of the labor force in Guyana. So last week, Thursday, at the Hardmanston Lodge in Queenstown, Chad Hymus, an international professional speaker on safety matters, gave the packed audience a practical and emotional tour on the real purpose and intent of occupational health and safety.
I was just kind of sitting there, kind of floating like this. I just kind of sitting there, just kind of going back and forth at the bottom of the ocean, and I felt like kelp. I mean, that's what I felt like, just that weed. Just kind of going back and forth. And I looked and I noticed that I was on a rock. And my family put me on that rock. And from time to time, my wife and my parents and my kids, they would come back and visit me. And they would take me off my rock, and they would set me on a new one. I'm pretty sure they were using me as some sort of a GPS marker. And for those that you serve, for those that you're stewards over at work, for those that we're representing at the mine site. That's why you're here today. I want you to all know that you're markers. No, we're here to benchmark, share ideas, learn new things, try things a little bit differently. I want you to be benchmarkers in your ministries of labor, in your industries of work, in your families, in your homes, as a mother to beautiful children, as a father to beautiful children, as grandparents. Are you willing to be a marker for them and be the right GPS?
In his opening remarks, Henderson said that people change based on two reasons only.
You know, there's only one of two ways that people will change, or an organization, or an agency. There's one of two ways, and that's it. You'll either do it through inspiration, or you'll do it through desperation. That's it. You think about that in your personal life. Maybe it's a health scare, or it's a heart attack. It's diabetes, high blood pressure. People change either due to inspiration or desperation.
Henderson also said that the goal of occupational health and safety is to have zero safety records negativities.
And it's all aimed at driving industry's safety records down to zeros. 0 first aids, 0 medical reportables, 0 fatalities, 0 property damages, 0, 0, 0.
Do you know what separates people in this room? Do you know what the gap is? Those that showed up because they were invited to come here and just sit there in their chairs versus those that are going to leave here and create a movement.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. Coming up after the break. Body of Bayesian man accused of killing wife found. And Bartica to receive a new power plant. But first, here's today's foreign currency exchange rates. For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
The Big King you love just chickened out. Introducing the new Chicken Big King with 2 crispy chicken patties and our signature king sauce. The new Chicken Big King, now part of our Burger King favorites. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Guess what? Clearance will be hosting a grand half-price sale for 1 day only. I'm talking on the 28th of April. So I need you guys to come down and cash in on this amazing deal for all your favorite brands. Ladies, come down and enjoy half off jeans, tops, dresses, shoes, handbags, and a whole lot more. And for the fellas, cash in on half off dress shirts, jeans, jerseys, short pants, sneakers, and everything you need to give you that sizzling look. Remember, the sale happens for 1 day only, so I need you guys to come down and cash in on the big half price sale happening right here at Clearance. Always keeping you in style.
Guyana, Celebrate and appreciate 35 years of ministry with our very own Prophet Eon Greaves. Saturday, April 28th, 2018 at the National Cultural Center, featuring Sean Sobers, Samuel Medas, Miriam C. Williams, Saiku, Kester D, Sherilyn Maloney, and much more. Tickets cost $1,500, $2,000, and $3,000 and are on sale at the National Cultural Center and Kester D Music Center. Doors open from 8 p.m. Sponsored by Hope is Rising and Den's Trading.
Welcome back. This Saturday kicked off the beginning of this year's Linden Town Week celebration. This year's event is celebrated under the theme Celebrating Culture, Talent, Creativity in a Clean, Green 2018. Almost 60 events will be held during the 10-day span. There will be several parties, fairs, sporting activities, luncheons for the elderly, the Big, Bold, and Beautiful pageant, tours around Linden and Region 10, concerts, and educational activities. The Linden Trade and Exhibition Fair will also be held during this period. For a complete listing of all activities for Linden Town Week, visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com. The body of David King, the Bayesian resident accused of killing his Guyanese wife, has been found a short distance away from the murder scene. Our reporter Wendell Jeffrey has more in this report.
On the 14th of this month, at around 2:45 in the p.m., David King, a Bajan citizen, stabbed his wife, Onika, a Guyanese, to death. The incident happened at a beauty salon on Swan Street in Bridgetown, Barbados. Over the weekend, just about a quarter of a mile from where David killed his wife, they found his body floating, lodged between some rocks off the Bridgetown Pier. Onika was a 36-year-old nail technician. Her children, two of them, both witnessed the gruesome incident. After his brazen act, it is reported that David placed the knife back into his bag, walked out of the salon, greeted some shoppers, and fled the scene on foot. When they found David King, his body was in a decomposing state and lodged between some rocks in the canal. It is not clear yet how he died. Bajans are speculating that he probably drank poison, or that some of those aggrieved by his act might have hunted him down and that he might have died at their hands. His body is at a government morgue, awaiting identification and an autopsy by Bajan pathologist Dr. Corinthia Dupoy. Investigations into his death continue. Meanwhile, the orphaned children are reported to be with their maternal grandmother, Shirley Clark, and there are plans to bring them back to Guyana. Several persons on social media have expressed their desires to adopt the children. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. This morning, 2 persons were slapped with separate marijuana possession charges. Wayne Edwards of Seafort Street, Campbellville, was charged with possession of 954 grams of cannabis. It is alleged that on April 20th, 2018, Edwards had the cannabis in his possession for the purpose of trafficking. His attorney, George Thomas, denied that the narcotics was found on his client, but was found in the yard where some 30 persons live. He noted that his client has no previous convictions and that Edwards is self-employed as a grocery vendor. The prosecution claimed that the defendant was seen by Ranks with the drugs in his possession, which he attempted to hide. When said bag, which was allegedly hid, was retrieved, the drugs were found inside. Magistrate Judy Latchman remanded Edwards to prison until May 14, 2018. And 18-year-old Travis De Niro of Bel Air Village also faced the Georgetown Magistrates Court today. De Niro denied that on April 20th, he had 38 grams of cannabis in his possession for the purpose of trafficking. According to De Niro's lawyer, the marijuana was actually found in a clump of bushes near to where the police apprehended him. The police prosecutor, however, suggested that De Niro was actually found with the drugs in his pocket. He was remanded to prison and is expected to return to court on May 7, 2018. Residents of Bartica and surrounding communities will soon benefit from the construction of a new 3.3 megawatt power plant.
Bartica will soon receive a new power station.
Project Manager Julian Reddy gave an update on the progress thus far.
Started some works in town, which will procure materials, and the steel structure will be fabricated in Georgetown, so that has already started. In addition to the building and civil works, we have a mechanical contractor, which is GUYANA Engineering. The civil works will be undertaken by Geico Construction and Engineering Services. So GUYANA Engineering would be responsible for the installation of the switch gears, construction of the fuel lines and stuff. So both projects, both contractors, the work will be running in tandem.
According to Reddy, these works will also include the building of a structure for the generators, roads, and even a wharf to facilitate the delivery of fuel from Georgetown. During a recent visit to the area, Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson shared that much of the materials and equipment needed for the structure have already been procured. He also outlined some of the associated costs with the power plant's construction.
The civil works is $308.8 million. That's for the building, the foundation, the house, new building, and the jetty. The cost for the mechanical electrical work is $54.2 million. Cost so far is $1.41 million expended to date.
The structure will contain 3 generators, putting out 3.3 megawatts in total. The heavy fuel oil-powered system will replace the aging one currently in use. Coming up after the break, Canadian citizen lynched in Peru, and Irish footballers start anti-abortion campaign.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
For all your floor covering needs, Kissoons has you covered. From wall-to-wall carpets, runners, rugs in all sizes and designs, mats for all entranceways, vinyl and rubber tiles too. And with our vast stock and knowledge, you're guaranteed to find your floor covering solution with us. We provide free estimates, and did I mention we install too? Like I said, we've got you covered. Kissoons Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
The Big King you love just chickened out. Introducing the new Chicken Big King with 2 crispy chicken patties and our signature king sauce. The new Chicken Big King, now part of our Burger King favorites. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Welcome back. Here's Bibi Bacchus with our regional and international headlines of the day.
Police in Peru are investigating the lynching of a Canadian man in the remote Amazon region. On Saturday, police found the body of Sebastian Woodrow very near where an indigenous spiritual healer had been killed days previously. Investigators says locals suspected Woodrow of the murder of 81-year-old Olivia Avarello, who was shot dead on Thursday. Woodruff went to Peru hoping to do an apprenticeship with a plant healer from the Shipibo indigenous group. His goal was to become an addiction counselor using hallucinogenic medicine. Officials said they would not rest until both murders had been solved. In an update shared to social media, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Services said 9 Venezuelan nationals were arrested in Santa Flora during an anti-crime exercise conducted on Saturday night. Police said the illegal immigrants, 5 males and 4 females, range in ages from 18 to 39 years. Police also said that a 40-year-old local man was also arrested for being in possession of a gun and ammunition. South Korea has stopped broadcasting propaganda via loudspeakers along the border with North Korea. South Korea has dozens of loudspeakers along the border, which blast everything from K-pop music to news reports critical of the North. The loudspeakers can be heard for miles. Seoul said turning them off would help set the tone for Friday's talks. North Korea has its own system of speakers along the border. It plays reports critical of the South and its allies. It is not yet known whether the North will silence their loudspeakers as well. And finally, a number of prominent Irish football players have launched an anti-abortion campaign. The group GAA Athletics for a No Vote was launched in Dublin, Ireland on Saturday. The Irish broadcaster RTE has reported that the GAA is to write to its county secretaries informing them that the association should not have involvement in the referendum. The vote will be held on Friday, 25th of May. Voters will decide on whether or not to repeal the 8th Amendment of the Irish Constitution, which upholds Ireland's strict abortion laws. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, Bibi Bacchus.
Now for your 7-day weather forecast and bridge retraction schedule. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.